on the Oregon coast, and I put some stickers up in one town.
So when it comes to large-scale mural cover-ups, make sure that you are always consulting a director for something like that, or you are consulting me. It is something, generally as the activism becomes higher in risk or scale, the more you need to get consultation.
Let's take this party to meeting room 2.
Hello.
Hello. Looks like there's a spray paint shortage going around, so we might want to go stock that as soon as we can.
Yeah, I have a hard time finding the blue Montana.
Where's everyone else at? All right, spam the chat, fellas.
Oh, I can't spam the chat.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alrighty.
For some reason, my computer wasn't working. It was just muted, unless you guys were talking.
Who are we missing?
We're missing all of Oregon.
Somebody talk to me. Somebody talk to me.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I can only hear it on my phone for some reason. That's weird.
Strange.
Okay, Clark, what was the status on the drilling location that you said you found?
It looks pretty clear. It's nice and pretty level. There's a lot of brush cover obscuring the view from any neighboring parking lots or streets.
Okay, is this a park? Is this like a patch of random grass somewhere?
It's an empty field just off of exit 111.
It would probably be more normal to do this in a park.
Okay. There's also the other area I was thinking of is Priest Point Park. It's what is that? Northern Olympia, just outside Northern Olympia. It's a pretty big park. I've been through there tons of times. There's a ton of little areas that you can just kind of peel off and do your own thing at.
All right, I'm gonna give Tyler a call. Hang on.
Well, Nirvana at work, huh?
Yeah, you know it.
Actually, you know what? He's just gonna miss out on important details. It's his fault for planning something at the same time we have our meeting. Okay, we have a lot to go over. Alexander, where's Frederick?
I can call him on Telegram.
You should do that, or Signal, or whatever the hell you talk to him on.
Mm-hmm.
Leo hasn't read my messages all day, so I don't know what's up with him. Okay, so Jack, would you be willing to have some guys stay the night at your house Friday night and maybe even potentially Saturday night?
Yeah, I posted that in the Rocket Chat as well. That's fine with me. I just need to know how many people are coming, and what day, and for how long.
Just to sleep after, a meetup, we all go home. So they're gonna drive up Friday and then spend the night, and then Saturday we got the drilling and stuff. However, I have an action that we will all be needed for, and I was wondering if we should do it on Friday night or late Saturday night. If we do it Saturday night instead, we'll have more sleep, but guys that are having to drive home will spend part of their Sunday driving home. So I'm gonna give a few minutes and wait for Frederick to hop in here, and because he's driving quite a ways too, and I want to hear from him his take. But you'll have Johnny, Idaho, Frederick, Oregon, Leo, Oregon, and Alexander, Oregon. So that's 4 guys who they can all lay down on a sleeping roll or some foam or something and crash, like in your living room or something. If this is okay with you.
Yeah, it works for me. They are welcome to join me. Sounds good. I would also vote for, if we're going to do an action, I would like to do it Friday night instead of Saturday night, because Friday night I will be available after 5 p.m. So that'd be great.
Okay, it's going
Saturday
to be
night,
extremely
I'm not
late
gonna be
at
available until after,
2. It's going to be at 2 to 3 a.m. It'll be very, very late, which will help give us the success to pull off. I don't know why I'm cutting out. Do I sound okay now? Was I just talking quietly?
Try one more time, man.
All right. How am I now? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, I have an action planned. I want to do it like 2 to 3.
Well, Frederick didn't answer a call on either Signal or Telegram, but I'm pretty sure I know his answer would be Friday.
Okay.
Just
So
because
that
I
would
know
mean-
he'd want that Sunday.
That would mean that we would stay up late, and then we would do the drilling a little later, which is fine. It's whatever. I planned this as, everyone drive. Or how did I plan it? I said, what did we agree on? I'm trying to remember. I think everyone just drive up Friday. Was that the plan after work? Or drive out Saturday, spend the night, drive home Sunday after drilling? Because if y'all drove them over Friday, that'd be real convenient. But
Hey, Frederick.
okay, there's Frederick. Frederick, I'm trying to remember what we agreed on with having everyone drive. Everyone was driving up Friday night after work, or was it drive up Saturday morning?
It was Friday night after work.
Okay. I'm planning a really big action for us, and we're going to want to do it like at 2 a.m. on either Friday night or Saturday night. What would you prefer?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Because Friday night, I'm going to be, getting off work, going to be tired. We're going to have to stay up a bit, pull an action. I'll start drinking bang a little later in the day.
Yeah, I think Friday's better.
All right. And then so we spend the night at, our houses, and you guys can spend the night at Jack's. And then we're going to wake up, and then we're going to get the meetup location, I'd say sometime around noon. So if we do the action 2-ish a.m., let's say guys are getting home around almost 4 a.m., that gives them about 6 hours of sleep. hour to get ready and about an hour to drive to the location. We're going to meet up around noonish, 1 p.m. I think that'd be a decent time frame to use. What do you guys think?
That sounds like a good idea to me.
That sounds like a plan.
Sounds good.
Okay. So Friday night we're gonna do this action, and Friday night's gonna be a little bit less busier than Saturday night anyway, so there'll be less people out, which will be good. I spent about 2 hours with Clark scouting this location, and we are definitely gonna need all hands on deck. And I'll brief you guys all before the action and tell you what I need you to do. I'm going to assign rules to everyone for this action to ensure the safety and completion of said action. There is a small chance that, all of us could end up going to jail. I want to say about a 2% chance.
Sweet.
A lot lower than the mural that we did in Portland. With more guys means there's more lookouts and we'll be able to be a lot safer. The environment, there is little to no vehicles that will be passing by. My only issue is like maybe a pedestrian sees us doing it, calls the cops, and the cops get the description of my vehicle and we get stopped. But I find that to be extremely low, especially considering our opposition does not believe in calling the police. But that doesn't mean that they haven't done that in the past before, right?
Yeah.
And so as long as we're speedy in and out, I think we can complete it in less than 5 minutes. And police's response time is usually longer than that,
Also, I'd like to just say this one thing. While it is true that they do not have a fond reputation of the police, they are hypocrites and they do call it when convenient for them.
Right.
Why do we have to do it so late at like 2 a.m.?
Because that's when no one's out.
It's the safest for us.
Sweet. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be a great weekend of activism and drinking, bang, and drilling and getting together. And I'm finally gonna meet Johnny Idaho. It's gonna be cool. So, after drilling, because we're gonna have to. Well, if we did it Saturday night, then we'd have to hang out together all day Saturday, and that could mean that we could get a whole bunch of shit done. So I was thinking after drilling, maybe we could all do something like carve some pumpkins and make some banners, do some arts and crafts.
I wouldn't mind making some banners. That'd be good.
Yeah, I
practice.
would love to make banners.
Okay. So if y'all want to make banners, go get some supplies and bring them.
Oh, that would be a really good idea. What we could do is when we all come there and we make banners, what we could do is we could make some of those banners and then distribute them to other networks as kind of like a community action.
That's
I need to
literally
get
like
some-
what we do pretty much.
Yeah, I need to get some down to Network 14 and some of the California guys.
Hey, what % chance do you say we're going to jail?
Like 2% or less.
It's really
Yeah, that's the
minor.
problem with having your wife over here. She thought she heard 30%, and I'm like, I'm not doing it with 30%, so don't even worry.
No. It's an extremely low chance, but I think really my plan is to use my truck and to have y'all ride in the bed like Mexicans. So if you get pulled over, just run away.
Hey, Ethan, all those years of Spanish will finally get paid off.
What do you say?
You said all those years of Spanish are finally going to pay off.
Oh, yeah.
What are you, part Hispanic or something?
No, dude, I'm just a good student.
Okay, hombre. All right, so also, does everyone have an outfit that they can wear where they can look like a total shitlib or like an anarchist?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right, so
You're gonna love it.
for this action, we're doing black bloc. So I want you guys to have your most Antifa-looking uniform that you can muster.
That's already what I wear when I do activism.
Okay,
Yay.
good. Okay, but just don't wear anything like literally an Antifa logo or like a gay pride pin or a BLM pin or anything like that. Just straight all black, nothing identifiable. And definitely wear a mask. I don't give a shit if you wear a balaclava or a COVID mask or whatever. Definitely not the white BF mask. Just wear all black. That's why people walk around in this place like that anyways, because there's a lot of opposition there. So there is a slight chance that there might be opposition. And if that is the case, I want our biggest guys, Frederick and Tyler, to be posted on the street to deter anyone who might try anything. The chance of violence is extremely low. But, a higher chance is someone pulling out a phone and trying to get pictures, trying to get video. If for some reason that one of the guys makes that phone of theirs disappear, I didn't see it happen. So just gonna tell you that right now. So if you gotta do what you gotta do, you gotta do what you gotta do. Just don't resort to any violence. But if there's a cell phone filming us and that cell phone somehow goes fucking flying and blows up in a million pieces, I'm not gonna cry. Understood?
Aye.
All right. I think it's simply just a big guy like you walking up to someone like, "Hey, what's the problem? Go away." Just they'll fuck right off. But all the other details and stuff, I'm trying to go over it. There's all sorts of ways that I can plan it. I got about 2 different ways where we pull up with a vehicle, do it and go, or we come in on foot. Both work. I think having everyone load up in the truck in the bed would be great. Put duct tape on the on the plate, and then just drive off, going the speed limit, and then get everyone back to the vehicles, and then we'll meet up in like a town a half hour away or something, or we could just go straight home. So, what do you guys think after that action? Do you just want to drive straight home, or do you want to go to a rendezvous? We should probably do a rendezvous spot and then do a head count and all that jazz.
Yeah.
You smart.
Yeah, that's the smartest option. Do a head count.
Okay.
That Priest Point Park I told you about that we might want to do drilling at is pretty close to the location we're thinking of going. So that could be a good rendezvous point.
Maybe, yeah. Well, what if we're going there the next day and the people are like, "Those are the same vehicles I saw"? But I don't think it'll be an issue. So I want to send lookouts first. So I'm going to have lookouts be sitting in the bed of my truck. And you guys are going to lay down in the bed. You're not going to sit upright. I don't want you visible in the street at all. You're going to lay down until I get out of the truck and I tell you to get out of the truck. Understood?
Good.
Okay.
Got it.
So that means I'm going to want Vincent, since you're filming, I'm going to want you in position like first. Or I don't know, maybe you could come with us and film us as we... Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Clark? You help me scout it. Do you think we should have him just out in the street waiting, or do you think it'd be cool to get him filming us going in and exiting?
I think, honestly, if he filmed us all hopping out of the truck in like the black outfits, I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, but we don't want my vehicle in the video. If it was
Let's
a rental,
blur that
it'd be
shit out.
whatever. Yeah.
You could just crop it so that way you can just barely see the top of the truck. Just to
Maybe,
see people
yeah.
hopping out of the truck bed.
So that being said, I want to assign some roles. And I want a forward scout with radio. Who wants to do that?
I already have a role, right?
Yeah, your roles would be big and scary. You know, you could be a forward scout.
I mean, I know the area really well. I'm down there well enough a couple times a week.
Yeah, you can also be a scout. I'm gonna have you show up like an hour earlier and just prep the spot for us,
Absolutely.
like we discussed. So I think I'm gonna send out Frederick and Tyler to go and scout around the area. Maybe you too, Clark. And then when I get radioed that we're good to go, all of me and the other guys, and the necessary activism materials they'll have on them will enter and then do the action and exit. And I think it'll be rather quick. It'll be rather smooth. And I was kind of debating, how comfortable are you guys with those big banner stencils? Do you think with all of us and the help of Oregon, we could pull those off, putting those on a wall under 5 minutes? Or do you think we should play it safe and we should like use the United We Stand mini banner stencil?
I think we got to go big or go home, man. That's where I stand
Absolutely.
on this.
I think
Yeah.
with the Oregon guys, I mean, I think 5 minutes is, well, I think that's, we do it.
Because I was thinking with the banner size stencils and the URL, we could, and this is really flat. There's not a bunch of rocks, like, and it's not going to be super dark. It's going to be lit up. So, you know, we'd be able to be pretty organized with our workspace. We'll have 2 guys that hold the stencils up, and then 3 guys fill in with a can of Montana paint. And then drop stencil, fold it up, set it down nicely, pick up the next one, and do it again. So everyone's going to have a 4X turbo can, white out the whole motherfucker, and then just wait a couple seconds to let it dry, and then slap our stencils up. It is important that we do let it dry. So you're going to want to not do too heavy of a coat. The one we did in Portland, we whited it out, then we took off, and then we came back, and then we stenciled it some more. So we let it dry for a minute. I think at 2 a.m. it's going to be super dead, and there's going to be no one around. And I think our lookouts, if they scare people off from even like bothering us, there's an idea. So what if someone's approaching, you know, they're kind of interested, and then, you know, Frederick or Tyler literally like runs them off. But that poses, you know, what if try to fight you or something?
I could just look like a straight up hood.
Yeah,
No, people will
you
cross the road
simply
to
just-
avoid me.
Yeah, I think you just simply like puppy guarding any onlooker that comes up, you know, and just being really close to them. They're going to be really uneasy, and they're going to like not want to fuck with us. I mean, there's going to be like 10 of us total, so no one's going to want to really find it. My concern is them filming me getting in the truck. Clark, I want you to double check the area and where I said that I wanted to park the vehicle. Make sure that there's absolutely no cameras. We're going to tape the PS, but, you know, if my vehicle goes on the news, let's say my parents see it and they're like, hey, isn't that your truck? I'll be like, I don't know, I plead the fifth.
I hear you. Yeah, I'll go out there like during daylight hours so we can see better and just double check that. I'm pretty confident that there isn't any aside from that transit center.
Yeah, which we'll avoid completely on our exit.
Also, I have some nitro gloves that I can supply guys with. They are extra large, so I hope they fit your hands.
Yeah, you can bring those. I mean, I have stuff too. I think I'm the guy with all the Montana paint, so I'm gonna have to clear all that. As for the banner stencils, who has all the stencils right now? Is that Ethan or Vincent?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay. I need you to prepare those to say "Reclaim America." When do them with the duct tape so they fold accordion style. They're nice, easy, and portable. Okay. So definitely do that. Hang on a second, my AirPods are dying.
And that's Reclaim America, right?
All right, I'm back. Yes, Reclaim America.
All right, I got you.
I want a different slogan. However, the United We Stand stencil is pretty big. It's like 3 by 5 feet.
If we're doing like Floyd, though, it kind of almost seems like United We Stand with blacks.
Yeah, the messaging can get a little bit confused because most people don't know a lot.
I know
of the
we need a good
symbolism.
rebuttal, but guys, you know the URL size stencil. I was thinking, what if we did individual letters of that, cut the coroplast, and then we did the accordion style fold with those. That way, you don't have a blundering gigantic stencil, but it's portable enough to like put in your coat or your backpack, and it's still big. We got the letters. They're in the roll of stencils we need to cut out. I either have those or those are at Tyler's house. And I know Tyler won't get them done, so someone's going to have to retrieve them from him and cut them on some coroplast. But that's an option, too. And I was thinking, like, about not stolen and conquered. Better. One Nation Against Invasion. We need an Ooh, strong families, strong nations. I think that's a good rebuttal to any homosexual propaganda. What do you think?
Absolutely. I like
Yes,
that one.
it is.
Okay. So we could do that and get that done by the end of the week. I'm going to leave that up to either Ethan or Vincent. Do you think one of you guys could get that done?
That would be a hard one to stencil in 5 minutes.
No. We're going to do this not if it's the smaller stencils. Like the URL size. But it would actually be easier than using Reclaim America banner size stencils. So, Vincent, would you want to do that? Putting out stuff on coroplast with like some foam puzzle pieces, like we did at Tyler's house. It's criminally fast and easy. I believe he has the letters. Now, let me check my closet real quick.
The last meeting I had with Tyler, he said that you have them. Or he said he thought you did. Maybe you guys have exchanged them since then, though.
Okay, yeah, I don't have the paper stencils, so we're going to need to get those from Tyler.
Hey, boss. Two things. One, it might be advisable that we get a tarp for the back of your truck in case one.
I already have
the
one.
guys have to sit back there for a minute.
Yeah,
okay.
no,
And
I
two,
already
it might
have
rain.
one. That way we don't roll around in a paint.
Yeah, that too.
That's what I've
And,
done with my method of stencils, is that I have all the stencils folded up nicely, and then I put a tarp over them to hide them.
There you go.
Yeah.
And my 30-minute break is over now, so I have to head back into work, hang around people, so I won't be able to talk, or at least with any sort of frequency. So if you need anything from me, just message me on Rocket Chat, and I'll get back to you whenever I can.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so I think for the most part, this is going to be really easy, really quick. Regardless, even if we like have the big banner stencils, yeah, it will take a while, Jack. But with 5 guys painting those in all at once, it's not going to take very long. Well, 2 guys holding it, 5 guys painting it, a couple lookouts, a guy filming, you know, it's going to be criminally easy. Criminally quick. All right, so you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about that?
I am on board. Oh, sorry for the delay. I'm on board. Yeah, it sounds great.
My one comment was just to reiterate what Alexander said: is go big or go home.
Yeah. It'll be the biggest we've done, probably the biggest org wide. Washington always spearheading the org with ramping up the ante. Well, we haven't done a billboard cover up yet, so I got to give that one to the PA and Texas guys. But as for stencil work, I think we're the stencil. We're the stencil Chads. Much.
Well, we could easily be the billboard Chads too if that thing we talked about.
Yeah, but that's so fucking far out of the way.
I
There's got to be
know.
something nearby.
Well, you guys did do a billboard once in Tacoma.
I'm not going to count that. It wasn't a banner going over the whole billboard. It was like painting side one. I don't know. I haven't even looked at that. And that was before I was even a member. So, any questions, comments, concerns about that?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So building time and meetup, I think that would be at noon. So it gives us a little bit of time to sleep. Noon to 1 p.m. We'll drill for 4 hours. And then when we're done drilling, guys can choose what they want to do, whether they want to drive home or whether they want to stick around, make some banners, do some sparring or whatever. I mean, that would give us all Saturday and Sunday to still do stuff. So we could just make some banners, and then we can also go do a bunch of banner drops too. What do you guys want to do? I don't want to plan anything. I want to be lazy and do as little amount of work as possible.
I think
What
that's
do you
kind of
guys want to
us. I think it's going to be a kind of a thing just for me. It's going to be a thing where we get there and then we just kind of judge based on the kind of, I guess, the consensus, like what we all want to do.
Yeah, that's
like,
more of a question for when we're there.
Yeah, because like, we could do this, do that, and then we could be drilling, and then we could just all be like, we really don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
As far as banner drops go, there was that one roll cage pedestrian bridge over I-5 near exit 103.
Good to know. It's close by. So,
and there also was that one train bridge that I told you about next to exit 114.
Yeah. Okay, so I still got to plan everything and kind of hash it out. I got most of the planning and work done. I'll send out a action plan with all the details and supplies and stuff that you guys need to know. So forth. I was also thinking of phone confiscations, because you're probably going to say I'm going a little over top of the OPSEC, but it wouldn't be the first time that the FBI has used towers information to track like the location of someone's phone and seeing all the other phones in proximity. So maybe leaving the phones with everyone in their cars and stuff might be smart.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea if it's going to be high profile.
Yep. Up to you guys, though. I would highly advise not getting split up and staying with the vehicle. My first original plan was that we used multiple cars and had the scouts park close by, and then have the painting team in my truck pull up from behind the location. But I think it's better if we all stick together. I think it gets a little hairy when we start splitting things up and going off into different teams and stuff. Not a large scale army yet. We don't need to like split up. Yeah, I can fit 5 inside the cab, and then the rest can literally lay down in the bed, top of the stencils. So I would recommend getting a black block outfit. You don't mind getting a little bit of paint on, but we're gonna put a tarp over the stencils, so I wouldn't think it's a big deal.
Some of those A's are getting a little fragile because we're going to use the full size still, right? So
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. Try to repair those and reinforce them with duct tape or something. I don't care if it's like a little crooked, fuck or whatever. But as long as it's reinforced and doesn't break on us. Okay, so as for the meetup spot Friday night, I need to do that. Try to meet up spot. Mark, what do you think? Meet up spot for everyone's vehicles.
Also, just for clarification, we're not camping, are we?
Oh, you're gonna be sleeping on the floor of Jack's living room.
That's great.
So bring a bedroll and like a foam roll and stuff.
Yeah.
Pillow. He has a hardwood floor, so I would recommend bringing something cushy or a cot or fucking something. So technically you are camping, but inside a house. All right, yeah, I'll have a meetup location that you guys can all drive to. Realistically, what time do you think you guys... Yeah, I was going to ask you where we should have everyone meet up. I think I'm going to have everyone meet somewhere, and then once everyone's there, we're going to go drive to where we'll go to the vehicle exchange. So, what time Johnny, Idaho, and Frederick, Oregon, and Alexander, Oregon, do you guys think realistically that you'll be in... Up that's close to the drilling? Say Olympia. What time realistically do you think you can be in Olympia, Washington?
After work on Thursday, which I will get off at around 1 a.m. I'll probably sleep a bit.
You're gonna drive out on Thursday night?
No, you weren't listening. So after...
Okay, so you're driving Friday early a.m.
Okay. After I get off at 1, I'll probably go home and go to sleep. And then I'll probably start driving. Is there a time that you would prefer that I get there? So that I'm not just sitting in my car for 5 hours waiting for somebody to meet up with me.
Right. I mean, I'm probably going to be working unless I can somehow, like, ask my boss nicely, like, can I take Friday off? It's like my birthday or something. I'd say for now, project to be there, in the afternoon or evening. What about you, Alexander and Frederick? What time do you think? What's the earliest you guys think you could get up to
I don't work on
Washington.
Friday, so whenever Frederick is available.
Hey, Frederick.
I'll take off early so we can be there well in advance of 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't.
The earliest
try
I'm going
to-
to be home on Friday is 5 p.m. So anytime you guys are welcome there. If you're worried about sitting in a car or whatever, I'm off work at 5. I'll be home at like 5:30 p.m.
So maybe Frederick and maybe the Oregon guys should just meet up with you at your house then, Jack, huh? Then leave their cars there and their camping stuff and whatnot, and then carpool with you up to where we're doing the action.
Sure, you guys can park at the park and ride, and then I'll meet you at the park and ride, load into my car, and then we'll go from there. Sound good?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I mean, that's
Jack,
one option.
If who's gonna be the driver, Frederick or Alex?
I'm driving.
Okay, yeah, give Frederick the details on that, Jack, on the park and ride location and stuff.
Okay.
Then y'all can hang out, bullshit, have some dinner or something before we start the action.
You want to drop down to meeting room 3? I'll give you the address.
Sure.
Send it to them on Rocket Chat. or not, whatever. All right, what about David? Elusive David. How do you want to do this, David? You want to crash at my house? How does that sound?
If that's what you would want me to do, then sure.
Okay. Or yeah, you can carpool with me for this whole bam. Crash on my couch. I'll let my dad know ahead of time. Like, hey, I got a friend coming over. Kind of late. You can either leave your truck parked in the usual spot or at my house. Ask my dad if I can leave it at your house. It's fine. Probably park it like on the side of the garage. It's kind of out of the way. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Okay, yeah, your clothes are gonna get super painted and gross potentially. So I would recommend you guys maybe in your car or having like a trash bag you can toss them in or something, or just deal with it. I mean, I'm gonna have that tarp so you guys don't have to roll around with the stencils and like get covered in paint. But I think everyone can fit in the bed of my truck just fine. Laying down, no sitting upright. We're not riding around like Mexicans. Like we want to be stealthy. It's a stealth mission. Stealth is not optional for this mission. We can't go in guns blazing.
High speed, low drag.
Yeah. Who did not do activism last week? Come on, fess up. Who didn't do any activism?
I didn't do anything solo. I guess I made banners by myself and then we dropped them, but I didn't do stickers.
Jack? What did you do, Jack?
I stickered up Evergreen
Jack and I
College
did
with
Evergreen.
Clark.
Is that during the week? Is that last weekend? Okay. So that leaves out one guy who didn't do any activism. Oh, I was also
I am
thinking.
100% out of ProMat now. 100% out.
Okay, it's okay. I got some. And I believe Johnny Idaho also got a whole order. But
Holder of what?
you got a whole order of stickers, correct?
Yes, but I split, but they weren't like big ones, and I split half of it with Marcus because he didn't have anything.
Okay, I would use those sparingly, honestly. So What about Thanksgiving dinner plans? How about we all get together sometime in November and we have a Thanksgiving dinner together? Bring your best plate of food or dessert, whatever have you. Maybe we can crack open a bottle of wine, have ourselves a nice Thanksgiving dinner. How does that sound?
I like the sound of it. I'll bring my soup, or make it at least there.
I'd be able to do that on the weekend before Thanksgiving. The weekend after Thanksgiving, I'm going to be in Iowa.
So which weekend does that work for you?
I think it's the 20th.
20th. Okay, where's my planner? I gotta get my planner. My planner. Oh. Oh. All right, November. Okay. So, when's Thanksgiving? The 25th. You guys want to have a Thanksgiving dinner on the 20th or the 27th?
20th.
5th. Is that okay with everyone?
I
November
gotta,
20th.
I gotta see what's going on with my little boy's birthday and all that.
Because if it's on the 20th, then we'll be able to go to our own Thanksgiving stuff, and we're probably going to be expected to go be back at work after Thanksgiving.
All right, Thanksgiving's on the 25th, so I would assume most families and stuff are going to do Thanksgiving on the 27th or just on the 25th. I mean, bit of that day off work.
And you know I'm not available basically the whole month of November.
So you won't be available on the 20th?
Oh God, no.
Well, that sucks.
We're drilling on the 6th, right?
Yes. 6th of November, we're doing drilling.
When's our third drilling session? And also I'll be in California on the 20th.
I don't think we managed to get enough guys for a third drilling session. Oh, Vincent, you said that you weren't going to be available on the 20th. You're going to be out of town?
Yeah, I'll be out of town.
Okay, what about the 13th? Alex and Vincent, the 13th.
I'm not available any of the weekends of the entire month of November.
Fringe, dude.
Yeah, I know.
What if we did like Thanksgiving Friday or something?
I don't know. I'd be at work and shit.
Not in the evening.
After work? Yeah. Well, I mean, guys still they want to cook and bring stuff and all that. So I think doing it on the weekend would be really nice. So I think maybe Saturday the 27th. I have tally marks on the 27th for 6 people who said that they are available for drilling on that day. We're not doing drilling that day, but would you guys want to do a Thanksgiving dinner on the 27th?
Yeah. That sounds good.
Okay, I got one yes.
I'm down.
Another yes from John. A yes from Alexander. Yes
If
from...
more people can come on the 27th,
You mean Frederick,
then I'll
not
go.
Alexander?
Yeah.
You got one for Johnny Idaho. All right, who else?
Yes, from me.
About David?
What do you want me to what?
We're having Thanksgiving dinner on the 27th of November. Will you be there?
I suppose.
Got any secret
Count
family
me in.
recipes, David?
No.
I actually have a stuffing recipe I could send someone.
Maybe you can give it to Frederick and then have him drive it up since your nigger not coming.
I'm not missing my father's retirement party, you fucker.
All right, so you always have a retirement party all month long? Damn, dude.
No, that specific day.
Fuck. Okay, so what about Clark? Clark, will you be available the 27th?
No, I'm going to be in Idaho on the 27th.
Gay.
And this will be a family-friendly Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. But now this proposes, where should we host it?
I was almost thinking my mom's house or something, dude.
I've never been to your mom's house, so I don't know what to tell you. I was thinking maybe voting Jack's house since, a month before he was going to have everyone there before anyways, and
What did you say, Jack's house?
maybe Jack is cool
Oh, yeah,
with
somebody
that.
else has a nice bucket. That works.
Entirely on you, Jack. You can
I
say
don't
no
see
if
why
you're not
not.
comfortable. If you're not comfortable with it,
I'm pretty sure you guys aren't feds, and even if you are, I've got nothing illegal in the house.
I'm going to be honest with you. If any of you are feds at Thanksgiving dinner, the only knock I'm getting on my door is you guys going, "Hey, can I have that recipe?" That was really good.
All right, it's settled then. We're having Thanksgiving at Jack's house.
Yay. Also, question for all of you guys. Is anyone illegal to broccoli, anything with Italian seasoning, onions, or like, I assume we're whites. All of us are whites, so no one's lactose intolerant. Potatoes, everyone's not legal or allergic to any of that.
Spices and broccoli?
No.
Spices, broccoli, onion, heavy whipping cream, etc.
Talking like paprika or something?
Like Italian seasoning.
Love paprika.
I don't know what that is then.
Is anyone allergic to anything?
I'm like somewhat sensitive to certain shit, but I'm not allergic to anything. I can eat anything. Fuck it, I'll eat it.
Then you're all good. Right, groovy. Would you mind if I head out? I kind of have to get ready for work.
I think that covers most bases. Let me look at my notes again. Yeah, that was it. Thanksgiving dinner plans. We should also do some pumpkin carving. I think that'd be cool if we carved some jack-o'-lanterns and left them at like a banner or a poster or something. That would be kind of cool. Or just leave them in someone's front door. Put "Reclaim America" on a pumpkin. Leave it on your front door. Last year, I did the one stencil we have where it has the hat Chevron and the mask. Like the Patriot Front activist head.
Yeah.
I put that on a pumpkin, and it was pretty cool.
John,
And
here's an idea, and I don't know how feasible this is. Let's say some guys happen to conquer a couple Black Lives Matter signs and put a pumpkin there. I don't know, man. Might be interesting.
Leave them there after spray painting a mural.
Ooh, yeah.
Local neo-Nazis carve pumpkins. No. Ike Sheckelberg at, Jew News, CNN.
Local neo-Nazis co-opt a family-friendly holiday.
Jeez.
You guys are talking about Thanksgiving. We should do Passover.
Yom Kippur is right around there, actually.
Oh yeah, let's celebrate that, guys.
Yeah, bro.
I think after drilling, well, someone can go get some pumpkins and bring them, and then we'll do drilling, and making banners, and guys that aren't making banners could maybe carve some pumpkins or something, use some of the small stencils or whatever, have some fashion pumpkins. I would like us to get together and go to a pumpkin patch or something. A little fun extracurricular thing to do. There's a fun one called Maris Farms over in Buckley, and they have an apple cannon, which is super cool, and they have a maze, and you get to ride around the cart, and then you get to buy these horribly expensive pumpkins. I don't know. You guys don't seem too enthused about pumpkins. We'll just.
I mean, when you say it like that, I mean, how can we say no?
I think it'd be great pictures if we got a bunch of pumpkins, like just taking.
Yeah. So you guys want to go to a pumpkin patch?
I'm in, yes.
Or
If we don't, I'll actually be properly mad.
should have done that this weekend, but I had other obligations. I'm sorry, guys. I let you down this weekend and didn't come out for banners.
Oh, well, you happened upon something else that happened, so that was cool.
Yeah, I spent 2 hours scouting a location. It was the most time I've ever put into scouting anything. It's okay. I know it's asking a lot, but for those that, this is just to you, immediate network gate guys, and yeah, you want to go to the pumpkin patch Sunday after drilling?
Not really.
I thought we were drilling on Saturday.
We are drilling on Saturday, so I was saying on Sunday we get pumpkins the next day.
Oh, I work the next day.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, that's fine, guys. I'd still like to pick up a pumpkin and maybe bring it with, maybe we pick up a couple pumpkins up and bring them to the banner making if we're going to be doing banner making.
Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, I'll have you just grab some pumpkins. We'll carve some out. I'll have to look around, see if I have those little stencils for your front guy face. I have that somewhere. I'd have to look for it.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come with, we can still get some pictures of at least a couple of us going to pick up pumpkins.
I think I'll get photos of you guys making them and holding them and stuff in the field. Okay, I think that covers everything. Sorry for having such a lengthy interview. Meeting. You guys have any questions, comments, or concerns for me?
What's your favorite type of cookie?
It's a tough one. One that doesn't have soy in it. I love chocolate chip cookies that are fresh off the top of the oven, and I mean fresh. I like the chocolate just melting in my mouth. I also am a big fan of.
My phone just fucked up. I missed what you just said.
Oh, come on, man.
Chocolate chip cookies.
I like chocolate chip cookies when they're fresh off the top of the stove because they melt in your mouth. However, I also am a big fan of peanut butter cookies. Sometimes I get random cravings for those. Cookies that don't have soy in them. They all have fucking
Snickerdoodles,
soy.
bro.
Right.
Snickerdoodles are okay. I'd eat them. Why?
They're okay. You take that back. They're God's gift to
All
this
right.
planet.
It's
See,
your,
I like
birthday
you,
next
Clark.
weekend, right?
What, Nathan?
So it's your birthday next weekend?
My birthday is this week.
Okay, cool.
I wrote birthday plans for Sunday today, and I didn't do anything. I once saw my mom. She ordered some sushi and she gave me some 45-pound plates. My gym, which was pretty sick.
That is really
And
nice.
and some new underwear. I don't know if I showed you guys how I've been wearing underwear that's like just absolutely falling apart, and I just like refuse to like fork out any money to like buy some more underwear. Like I've just been penny pinching. And so I have like 5 pairs of decent underwear, so I have to wash my clothes like 2 times a week. My mom went and got me 2 packs of Reeboks, and I was like, dude, hell yeah. Underwear. Turning into an adult, jeez. I get excited over underwear for a present.
You are a staunch capitalist, aren't you?
Yeah. What I would really like for my birthday is a Thomas Funko Pop.
Based.
Someone needs to please just make a Thomas Funko Pop.
Yeah, they need to do that and post it in the network creation channel when he hosts the non-network meetings.
Yes. My favorite cake, by the way, is a German chocolate with coconut pecan frosting. Best cake. All right. Anything else? Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Hey, Frederick Orkin, can I talk to you in meeting room 3, please?
All right. Get the hell out of here.
Yep.
Anyone else? Anything? You have anything for me?
I wanted to,
One at a time, please. Vincent, you go.
yeah, so I was gonna just check again what you needed me to get stencils for, and if we have any chloroplasts. It's gonna be hard for me to get to Tyler's because I have meetings at 8:30, basically every night except for Friday. But if I can connect with Tyler and run there maybe tomorrow, I might be able to get that stuff if we have the materials for it. But what stencil do we want to make?
Get the paper bundles from him. He has a triangular box full of the paper cutouts. We need those, and in that roll of stuff is the URL size. So I want to say they're like 12 inches, 12-ish inches, and get those. And there's a whole alphabet with our font. Carve out on a chloroplast those letters and make it spell strong families, strong nations.
Gotcha. And we have the chloroplasts already?
No, we would need to pick some up. You have Cash App, I can throw you some money to get some. I imagine it would only take maybe 1 or 2 sheets, which will be a total of $45.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll try that. I do just happen to have a busy week this week. But I'll see if I can pick those up from Tyler tomorrow. I'll send him a message.
I'm going to send you a message on Rocket Chat. Grab. I'd say 2 to 3 chloroplast sheets. Simply because we will end up using it for stencils. Like I want to take, once we get a shipment of posters, we are going to take our shipment of posters, and we're going to take the biggest poster we got and put on a piece of chloroplast, and we're going to carve it out. That we have a poster stencil. So just like our stickers and our pro mat, we'll have a fucking stencil for every single one of those. I think that'd be really cool, and we could add that to our activism collection. So we can use that as a rebuttal message to anything that we want. So supplies, black duct tape, 2 to 3 coroplast sheets. You know, any extra material we have, we'll be able to use it. DeWalt box knife, really good for cutting. And then a high density foam pad puzzle piece. You don't have anything like that to cut on. I mean, that's just extremely useful. This is something I could also work on after work as well. You guys are just really closer to Tyler, because Seattle was just really out of the way for me, especially with work. There's that, and then I don't know if there's anything else I need to add. Their instruction I had has the stencils, I believe, right? Correct, Ethan? Ethan, you have the banner stencils, correct?
Yeah, sorry, I had you in my desk pocket. I'm outside doing the trash. Yeah, I got all the stencils, banner stencils.
Okay. Banner stencils were 4 inches apart on the sides and 2.5 inches from top to class. Top of the letter, set to scale for the smaller ones. Okay. I do a lot of work up in Bellevue, it seems, lately. So, how far is that?
Sorry, what's that for me?
Yeah, how far away is Bellevue for you?
It's not too far away. It's just the timing is hard. I usually do the gym from 5 to 7, and I have a work meeting at 8:30 p.m. So it's hard for me to find time in between.
I feel that. I've been sacrificing my workout times for like meetings and materials and stuff and whatnot. Weekend helping out my dad with things instead of lifting. But I'm excited to use out other 45s. Black duct tape, 2 to 3 coroplast sheets, DeWalt box knife, high density foam pad puzzle piece, flooring material, banner stencils. Would you guys say Reclaim America is a solid rebuttal against a homosexual mural of any sort?
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, like you were saying, strong families, strong nations.
Well, let's say we don't have the strong family, strong nations, and we have to just stick with Reclaim America. Would you prefer Reclaim America over United We Stand? For an anti-homosexual?
Reclaim, I think, is better.
We don't want to be united with homosexuals.
All right, fair enough. All right, I think that is everything. Vincent, if you have any other questions, you can DM me. You guys got anything for me? Any questions, comments, concerns? All right, I got a question for you. You're out doing activism. You get stopped by the police. What do you do?
Run away if you can.
You don't say anything.
I would only suggest running away if you know you'll get away. if you're already fucked and they're already on you, what do you do?
Just don't say shit, dude.
You ask for your lawyer and you don't say anything.
Good. Oh, also, I think for this action, I'm going to write my lawyer's number on everyone's wrist just to be safe, like how we do at demos. Okay. I think this is solid. I think this will be a successful action. I see very little risk, but lots of reward. So, okay, all right. Last round. Any questions, comments, or concerns before I go to bed? Going once. Going twice. All right. Y'all have a great night for attending this meeting.
Oh, we never got for Ethan to say your bed.
We never got whom, huh, what now?
Ethan and I were speaking at the same time, and I got to speak, but Ethan didn't do his bed.
Oh.
I was just starting to sing happy birthday. I was just messing around.
Oh, you don't need to do that. All right. I'll catch you
That's
guys all
true.
later. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.